Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Nationwide joyful celebrations in Iran on the blessed birth anniversary of Imam Ali al-Rida alayhi salam. Al-Najaf al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies concludes its allocation of training courses. New statistics show a growing number of Shia mosques in the US states. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation proposes a motion to Iraq's government to create Orphans Care Committee, peace be upon them. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus. Now with the main headlines. Nationwide joyful celebrations on the blessed birth of Imam Ali al-Rida alayhi salam in Iran. Al-Najaf al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies concludes its allocation training courses. New statistics show a growing number of Shia mosques in US states. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation proposes a motion to Iraq's government to create Orphans Care Committee. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3. Amid religious chants and phrases of loyalty, large crowds of Shia believers across the holy city of Mashhad, Iran, celebrated the blessed birth anniversary of Imam Ali al-Rida alayhi salam. The correspondent of Shia Waves agency in Mashhad said that the city hosted celebrations and joyful ceremonies on this event, with large numbers of people chanting phrases of devotion and loyalty to Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. He confirmed that other Iranian cities also organized similar ceremonies, yet in Mashhad, millions of Shia Muslims revived the Imam's birth anniversary, noting that Imam al-Rida Holy Shrine held special programs on this event, such as religious lectures and other cultural activities. It should be mentioned that the holy shrines in Iraq, Iran, and Syria were adorned with banners and signs carrying the quotes of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. The Shirazi affiliated centers and foundations in Iraq have begun intensifying their efforts by holding cultural and development AI programs to serve the Husseini cause, ahead of the months of sorrow. In this regard, Al-Najaf Al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies, a center affiliated to Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Najaf, has announced the conclusion of its training course on the art elocution and public speaking, titled Art and Principles of Elocution and Public Speaking of the Husseini Pulpit, which has delivered by Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin Sheikh Ra'id al-Darraji. The center's administration said in a statement to Shia Waves agency that the training course included delivering practical presentations by the participants, pointing out that the course was delivered over a period of 3 consecutive days, 3 hours per day. It is worth mentioning that many centers, Husseyniyat, and foundations affiliated to Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Iraq and other Arab and Islamic countries have announced their preparedness to hold the Husseini mourning ceremonies. Prayers Connect website, a US-based non-profit organization providing services to Muslims across the US, especially on mosque-related statistics, locations, and identifying the humanitarian and worship activities. In recent statistics obtained by Shia Waves agency, the website has documented the number of mosques in the largest US states, according to the website. The number of the mosques in the US cities are now to follow: 481 mosques in California, 221 in Illinois, 570 mosques in New York, and 210 mosques in New Jersey, 250 mosques in Florida, and 399 mosques in Texas. The Prayers Connect also documented Shia mosques, which indicates the growing number of the Shia community of the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. In different US cities and states, amongst the Shia mosques in Los Angeles are Al Hussein Youth Center Mosque, Masjid al-Zahra alayhi salam, Masjid al-Hakim alayhi salam, Masjid al-Taqwa and Masjid al-Iman, Al-Imamiyya Center Mosque, Masjid Fatimah al-Zahra alayhi salam, Al-Zainabiyya Center Mosque, and the state of Illinois also hosts a number of Shia mosques, such as Imam al-Sadiq Mosque, Masjid al-Fadr, Ahlul Bayt Mosque, and others. Let us remind our respective views of today's headlines. Nationwide joyful celebrations on the blessed birth of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam in Iran. Al-Najaf Al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies concludes its elocution training courses. New statistics show growing number of Shia mosques in US states. Also tonight, global meeting underway for reducing dangers of plastic. The Misbah al-Hussein Foundation for Relief and Development, one of the Shirazi-affiliated active civil organizations in Iraq, has presented a proposal to the Iraqi government to create a committee to provide services for the orphans in the country. The foundation's proposal comes in line with the current Martyrs and Political Prisoners Foundations. The proposal is the first of its kind in Iraq, which took the experts at the foundation 2.5 years to draft its presented by this Charter for Protecting Iraq's Orphans. The foundation's director, Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin, Sheikh Mustafa al-Muhammadi, said in a statement to Shia Waves agency today, Wednesday, that the proposal took the foundation 2.5 years to complete its largest national and strategic project, the Charter for Protecting Iraq's Orphans. Sheikh al-Muhammadi also added that the study included providing database statistics and information on 7 Iraqi provinces, as a sample of which is results in the study, where based, it should be mentioned that this project is based on the directives and recommendations of the Supreme Religious Authority, Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Husseini Shirazi, who repeatedly calls for serving the orphans of Iraq and elsewhere in the world. And now we'll continue with some short news. Over 15 million Syrians, nearly 70% of the total population, need humanitarian assistance. The United Nations said on Tuesday that Syrian people in every part of the country are now experiencing some degree of humanitarian stress. The UN's new report put the number of Syrians in need of humanitarian assistance at 15.3 million, approximately 70% of the total population. A UN appeal for $5.4 billion to help over 14 million people in Syria is less than 10% funded, and the UN World Food Programme has warned that without additional money, 2.5 million are at risk of losing food or cash assistance from July. It should be mentioned that 12-year-old war and the massive earthquake that struck through the country have worsened the humanitarian circumstances in Syria. A sharp rise in child migration in Panama through Darien Gap. UNICEF says that the number of child migrants crossing a dangerous stretch of the jungle dividing Colombia and Panama has rapidly increased during the first 4 months of this year. The United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF said on Tuesday that the thick jungle terrain of the Darien Gap, which is also home of roving bands of criminals, has become a key transit point for thousands of mostly US-bound migrants setting out in search of better lives from South America. A record of 25,431 children and teens, both accompanied and unaccompanied, entered Panama through the Darien Gap between January and April. According to a statement from UNICEF provided to Reuters, the sharp rise in minor crossings marks an 8-fold increase compared to the same 4-month period last year, when just over 3,000 children and teen migrants made their treacherous trek, according to the UNICEF data. Iraq's Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research endows inscribe Altar caves in UNESCO's list. The Iraqi Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research has revealed its endeavours to put Altar Caves region in Holy Karbala on the World Heritage List. The UNESCO and Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research said in a statement received by Shia Waves agency that the ministry is working to protect the world geological heritage and the UNESCO's global geoparks, pointing out that it endeavours to inscribe the Altar Caves region on the UNESCO's global geoparks. Altar Caves are archaeological caves located 45 kilometers southwest of the holy city of Karbala, north of Iraq. This archaeological site occupies a significant position in the southern Iraqi peninsula and is surrounded by a number of valleys and oases. $1,200,000 pilgrims arrive in the holy city of Mashhad to mark the blessed birth anniversary of Imam Ali al-Rida alayhi salam. According to official statistics announced, 1,200,000 pilgrims entered the holy city of Mashhad in the last 10 days. These pilgrims travelled to the holy city of Mashhad with the intention of visiting the holy shrine of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam. And it should be noted that in the past few days, 62% of the capacity of registered accommodation on facilities, including hotels, apartments, and hotels and guest houses in the holy city of Mashhad, have been completed. New AI-powered research identifies antibiotic-fighting drug-resistant infections using AI-based machine learning algorithms, and MIT and McMaster University researchers have identified an antibiotic drug combination that can eliminate drug-resistant infections, including a hospital bacteria called Antibacterium. This bacteria is a type of bacteria that is often found in hospitals and can lead to pneumonia, meningitis, and other serious infections. This microbe is also a major cause of infections in wounded soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. One of the researchers of the recent study says that antibacterium is a survivor for a long time on hospital handles and equipment, and that current antibiotics are sometimes not able to fight it. United Nations Environment Programme organized a meeting of the representatives of 175 countries of the world in Paris, France, with the aim to negotiate ways to reduce the dangers of using plastic. These negotiations are in their second round of the 5 of the proposal of reaching a legally binding treaty by 2024, which shall be ratified by 2025. By the time the talks wrap up on Friday, the representatives are expected to come close to agreeing on an approach to reduce the amount of plastic waste piling up in the world's oceans and ecosystems. A coalition of 55 countries, including France and other European Union, wants to ban unnecessary plastics such as disposable cups and containers and limit the use of substances harmful to humans or the environment in plastic. The United Nations had warned before these negotiations that plastic pollution is an urgent crisis demanding immediate action. Environment AI activists worry that without binding limits for all countries, the world's first plastic pollution treaty could face the same obstacles as the 2015 Paris Climate Change Agreement. According to the UN reports, the Paris Climate Committee's commitments have not been well respected due to their non-binding nature. According to the UN report, the Paris Climate commitments have not been well respected due to their non-binding nature. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Nationwide joyful celebrations in Iran on the blessed birth anniversary of Imam Ali al-Ridha alayhi salam. Al-Najaf al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies concludes its elocution training courses. New statistics show growing numbers of Shia mosques in US states. Misbah al-Hussein Foundation proposes a motion to Iraq's government to create Orphans Care Committee. Global meeting underway for reducing dangers of plastic. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves' website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the appearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I am the sun, the star at the center of your universe. I am a wondrous threat made of hydrogen and helium, marveled by poets